What's up, guys? Brad here from Save the Mark IV. Today we're pulling all of the suspension out, the brakes out. We're going to take the subframe out and the rear beam. We're going to look it all over, see what we need to clean up, what we need to replace, what's salvageable. So let's dig into it. All right, I already ran into an issue. Got the car up in the air, and like a dum-dum, I didn't crack the wheel bolts, because I usually don't need to. But I got this hoss of a impact, and I can't get the last one out. Check this out. Oh, the fun part of working on cars. Trying to get some pressure on the wheel so I can use a breaker bar. The wheel is slipping. Sprayed some PP Blaster in there to see if I could break it up a little bit, and then was hitting it with my protector socket, and let's see, I broke it. So then it started spinning around the wheel bolt, and now the edges, the ridges are rounding out and starting to strip out. Well, can't say I've ever had this happen before. This impact has actually sheared bolts in half, but never has it not taken a bolt off. And now it's stripped completely. Man, you have to weld something to it. Fucking shit. Hey. You get it? Nope. Broke another socket. All right, everything is out. So she got no pants on. So here it all is laid out so you guys can kind of see the components. Let's start from the front. So the subframe looks totally fine. Bushings, I'm gonna go ahead and replace those. We'll hit up Carl at CSH and get some solid mount bushings. You got some grease over here from the CV that tore, so we'll just degrease and clean it. No big deal. On the control arms, and they both look about the same, so I'll just show you the one here. Your rear bushing is torn, and the front one, you can see it's kind of delaminating from the race, I guess, or the metal part that lines the inside. The bags, again, these are getting tired and kind of dry rotted. It's a little hard to see on camera and without them filled with air. So we're gonna replace those. And moving on to the rear, man, This was pretty bad. So the rear beam was a hell of a time to get out. I'm still working on getting these seized bolts out of here, which is what I'm gonna do right after this video, work on it a little more. I know I could get a new beam, but I like trying to figure this stuff out so I can learn new tricks and ways that I can manage this stuff, because we're in Michigan and that's just part of the deal. Plus these cars are getting older. So it kind of comes with the territory. But I did get the bushings out. There's some sort of aftermarket poly bushing, so that's good. We won't need to replace those. I did, with like 2 twists of the brake line, it broke. So I'm gonna have to get a new one, and I'll replace that one too. And then when it comes to the suspension, man, these old shocks have seen better days. Look at these bump stops. So it looks like these are old ST shocks. And then when it comes to the bags, you guys can see the mounts are pretty rusty, tired. But here's what I was talking about earlier in a previous video and on the Instagram page is right here you can see this big tear in the bag. So when the bag sits in the cup like this, you kind of get the idea. When it airs out and compresses, that little tear was rubbing against the basket. So, I mean, damn, that was really close to being a complete blowout. So we'll get new bags, we'll get new shocks, and we will get all of this dialed. All right, guys, that's it for all the suspension stuff. So everything's out. It's worse than I thought it was gonna be, but again, I don't know what I thought it was gonna be. I never drove the car, I just bought it and brought it here. So the good news is with all the suspension stuff, it's all fixable. It's kind of easy stuff to do. The biggest headaches so far have just been the rusty or seized nuts, bolts, hardware. Bushings are kind of a pain in the ass, but when I did my bushings on the Jetta earlier this year, I bought a floor press, so that should help me a little bit. Next, we're gonna move on to the engine. We're gonna pull the engine and trans out, look everything over, clean everything up. We're gonna separate the trans from the engine, see how the clutch looks, the flywheel looks. We have to do the rear main seal. Again, clean it all up. So the next time you see this car, we'll be head and shoulders deep in the engine bay. So anyway, thanks you guys. Really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you when we pull this thing out of here.